have you already got PIP and you're about to go through your review? If you have, this vlog is perfect for you. I'm going to take you through step by step how to complete the review form. But not only am I going to take you through that process step by step, I have someone who I've helped do their review, and I'm going to show you what she wrote and then how the scoring system works to make sure you get the points, because probably a lot of you, honestly, didn't get the right points when you did your initial PIP assessment. So I'm going to show you the scoring system, I'm going to show you her notes, and then I've rewritten it for her in PIP language so that she should get the points she deserves. I'm going to go through every section of the form with you. I'm also going to give you a template that you can use like before you fill out the form to make sure it's as clear as possible, as well as tips on what to do and, more importantly, what not to do, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. I probably should have said at the beginning of this, I have a 100% success rate at winning PIP for people and myself, because I am chronically ill. So I know what I'm talking about. There's no BS. Let's get on with it. Okay, couple of things. There's going to be timestamps on this vlog so you can come back to it, and say for example you're on washing and dressing or going to the toilet, you can click on that part of the vlog so you don't have to find your way back through it. Okay, so if you're filling out the form. Also, in the description there is going to be a document showing you the points, so you can like just save that document down. And there's also going to be the template. It's just a really basic template that I've done where I've written it out. You can use that, free to use that if you want. I would like to say this is a lady that I actually met because of YouTube. And I was not taking on any other people to help because I need to set up an appointment calendar, because I can't keep doing this for free. I've lost my job, I need to earn money. But she slipped through the net. Code name Lara Croft, that's her code name. Obviously I'm not going to give you any of her personal details, but because she saw the YouTube channel and understands how helpful it is for you, she gave me permission to do this, so I'm really grateful. So code name Lara Croft, thank you so much. I truly believe this guide will help people keep PIP and get enhanced points, because we know that PIP aren't going to give you the right points on your assessment. This is about the health conditions. So she's listed the health conditions. Now, what I always find with you people is you have conditions that you've had. Some people have had conditions for so long, you've adapted to life and you don't write it down. For example, what's missing here? Now, the reason I've discovered this is because I spent an hour and 7 minutes having a conversation with Lara Croft to get enough information to be able to help her with this form. And I've done this many times, and she was really informative. I obviously know what questions to ask because I understand the PIP format, and because I'm chronically ill, I get it. I get what it's like being in pain 24/7. I get what it's like being so exhausted you can't sit up in bed. So I think that helps me massively. So the condition that she didn't put down here that you can't see is epilepsy. She suffers from epilepsy. It's not even on the list because she's had it for so long. Also, she mentions IBS there, but it's not actually on the list. Straight away I was like, these are important. You know, having seizures massively impacts your life. They're very important. What I did was I changed it, and again this document will be at the bottom so you can see this is the example. She's given permission. I broke it down like that, and these are my notes to her so that she can, this obviously is not that she's not going to write on the form. So I've just written like little helpful things so that it fits into the space. And you know, her IBS is severe. She experiences incontinence, bladder and bowel. That's going to give you anxiety, isn't it? You're not going to want to leave the house. I totally understand. That wasn't even, well, it's not even there. Medication. Now, I did a really big sigh there because medication, I am stunned by the amount of people that I've supported that are not organised with their medication. On YouTube, we're not supposed to tell you what to do. So I'm going to break the cardinal rule, and I am telling you, you need a pill pot. This is my happy cow. He just makes me smile. every day, and he's held on with gaffer tape because this is obviously used. You need a pill pop. If you're suffering from pain and fatigue, you're going to forget stuff, you're going to miss your times, you have to have a pill pop, and you get points for it on PIP. Okay, even if you have 1 pill a day, have a pill pop. By the way, this is Matilda, this is my mum's dog, that's Ollie, she's my trainee assistant's dog. This list of meds, when I was going through it, and the more we talked, we sort of discovered, and we've been messaging as well while I've been doing the form if I've got any odd questions. And during this messaging, what we discovered is she's not clear on her meds. Some of these were out of date, so she's got action points. I do give action points to people where I'm like, you need to get yourself a pill pot, you need to go back to your GP, you need to make sure you're actually taking your meds. I think so many people I've spoken to are in that position, so please just put down current meds. You can put down, so codeine is obviously as required. If it's pain meds, it's as required. Make sure you put the dosage, yeah, nice and simple on that one, or should be simple. Treatment, this is brilliant. She's done brilliant here, like physiotherapy, continence clinic, pain management. Don't worry if you don't have anything here. I have full PIP, I have a form of arthritis, I don't have any therapy or anything. There's no point in me having physio because I'm able to work on what I need. I have been to physio once, but don't worry if you don't have anything in there. It's not a problem. Any hospital admissions since we last did the claim, don't worry if you haven't got any. Don't worry about it. Do not leave any boxes blank on this form. Do not leave any boxes blank. Put not applicable. Yeah. I read in the small print somewhere that it says if you miss a box, then they'll use it, like they won't process it. I do not know how anal they are about that, but don't risk it. Put any. Make sure you fill out something in every single box. Preparing food, and I'm going to read this out just in case it's not clear, but actually, before we go into this, I want you to look at her handwriting, okay? I want you to look at the spelling. Now, this lady spent many, many, many hours over days stressed, anxious, panicking, worried about it. How do you word it? What do you write? How do I say it? Have I said enough? Have I got enough information? This is stressful for you. It's really stressful. Well, us. No. For me, I find the review forms easy, but that's only because I've helped so many people that I know what I'm doing now. I get this is really stressful, but I promise this form is easy compared to what you've been through already. PIP are going to look at your handwriting. Yeah, they're looking at everything. They're looking at handwriting. Now, because her handwriting is so good and the communication is so good, straight away she hasn't got the points for communication, 0 points. Reading and writing, 0 points. Doesn't matter how much brain fog you get, because if you can read and write, you're not getting the points for communication and reading and understanding signs, okay? Which, don't worry about it, because if you suffer from chronic illness, you're going to get loads of points in the other areas. But I have to explain that to people that, and everyone I help, because they work with me and we prep, they come across so well, they just won't get the points, So you should put, I cannot prepare food or cook due to my condition. Brilliant. Blunt. Stated it. Brilliant. If we go on to the points, cannot prepare or cook food, she is stating she is 8 points. Now, when she first did this, I think she got a total of 8 points for the whole PIP assessment. You need 12 to get enhanced. Obviously, they never give you the right points. And she has got a massive amount of points. As you go through this with me, you will see, you'll be thinking like, why did this woman not get enhanced PIP? And it's purely down to communication. She didn't have the sort of training to communicate it in the way that PIP need it. So she's been nice and clear here. You obviously look at these points and you can see what category you're in. Like if you're able to use a microwave, fantastic, you get 2 points. If you're able to cook and prepare meals, no points. So I said to her, that wording's good. And she's put the reason why, the tremors, the pain, and mobility, and how you manage this activity now, her partner does it. All cooking, all food prep, her partner does. And this is, get this right, her legs stop working. based on her conditions, first of all, her brain doesn't coordinate with her limbs. So if she's saying to her legs, I want you to walk, sometimes the message doesn't go through and her legs just won't work. So 9 out of 10 days, her legs don't work properly. That's due to FND, FDN, FDR. Oh, was that a person? FD, whatever it is. It's at the beginning. So, and her fibro. You know, fibro in legs can be well dodgy. Like if you've got fibro and you get issues with your legs, like I feel for you. She's been really clear here. Now, this is what I wrote. So preparing food, I've been FND, right? I've just worded it slightly different than what she did. And do not, hang on a minute, this 9/10, 9 out of 10. So if you're at school, that's how they score, isn't it? 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. But when I read that, I read it as the date, 9th of the 10th. Do not use shorthand, okay? No risk of confusion or grey areas when you're doing your PIP forms. Kept it simple. My partner does all the food preparation. Tell us about any changes. Now, you need help. Now, PIP want to help you. PIP genuinely want to help you. And throughout the process, say for example, you score, currently you cannot prepare food because standing cause you massive amount of pain. I'm just editing this vlog and oh my god, no, it's my knickers. I'm drying. Are you the same way? You don't want people to see your knickers or even your laundry drying on the radiator. I'm so sorry. I think you see my underwear, although I'm pretty sure I showed it in my jeggings vlog. It's too much. We're getting to know each other too well. So I'm so sorry that you're basically looking at my knickers. Sorry about that. It was a really professional guide to PIP and what have we got in the background. Brilliant. So sorry. So PIP will say to you, what about a perch chair? Would a perch chair be helpful? Now personally, when it comes to cooking and a perch chair, we teach children at a very young age, do not stand by the cooker, watch the boiling water. I tried. I've worked in war zones. I felt million times safer working in a war zone than what I did sat in a perch chair at a cooker. It's not safe for me. It's not safe. In the sections where it says, tell us of any changes you need, that's the bit where you're having to think about, say for example, going to the toilet that you're using your sink or a shelf to pull yourself up off the toilet. That's the bit where you can say, I'd like to use a handle. Because once you get PIP, in the information with the outcome, there should be information on occupational health. They will come around your house and they will see what you're entitled to. This lady didn't even know that. And to be honest, I didn't until I won PIP for myself. And when the lady came around, she was amazing. She didn't judge me. She was really helpful. I got a perch chair, a toilet thing, which I would rather pull to get off the toilet than have a raised toilet seat. I just to visually look at it just messed my head up too much. She got me steps for outside my door because mine were wobbly wooden thing. It was amazing. So make sure you're thinking, what could help me make my life easier? And write that down if you can come up with anything. Although I'm saying write that down, also be careful because of the points. So for example, that perch chair, I do not believe is the solution for us suffering from chronic fatigue to sit in front of the cooker, especially if you decline as the day goes on. So please don't put perch chair if that is your situation, because then they won't give you the points and I don't think you're safe. So on this one, I've explained that I don't want her to have a perch chair because it's not safe. She declines and her coordination and everything is not good. So she's just not safe cooking. So she doesn't actually need anything. So her partner is, caring for her and her children because of her chronic illnesses. So in that one, she doesn't need anything. And I could have literally put no change in that box, but I didn't want to. I wanted to demonstrate, no, we've thought about this, or she has thought about this. So we're on to eating and drinking. Now, I think that a lot of you watching this will look at what she's written, tell us if something has changed and approximately when. I struggle with eating due to my body shakes. Due to my body shakes causes my hands to tremor, severe pain and fatigue. Tell us how you manage this activity. My partner will cook meals and provide snacks. Most of the time, I won't eat. She won't get any points with that. What she's saying is true, but she's not going to get points. Okay, so let me show you the scoring system. So taking nutrition. I know that if someone is in severe pain, varying levels of pain 24/7, is suffering from chronic fatigue and dealing with daily, just having the energy to hold your body up, they're not eating right. And there's always conflict with family members and food, because when you're in certain levels of pain, you're not going to eat. When your fatigue levels get to a certain point, you're not going to eat. If you do eat, it's going to be easy to eat food. You don't want healthy food. You do not want to have to use a knife and fork. Sorry. It's generally, look, I know this is really bad, but it will be things like sweets that you can grab, or in this lady's case, it's the really easy toasties that you can get. She named the brand. I hadn't actually heard of them, but I'm definitely going to look into it. That she can just pick up and nibble on. Because eating takes energy. I know, because I've lived it, that her partner, because he's doing the main care for her, is having to, in the nicest possible way, nag her to eat something, or she will simply forget to eat. Until we spoke and I asked that, she didn't understand how important it is in the world of PIP. She just wouldn't eat. You know, I cannot express how chronic fatigue, when it is actual chronic fatigue, that you don't have the energy or the desire to eat because you have to use energy to eat. So you will try and have something that makes you feel full as quick as possible. This is really important. And when we were talking, she was like, the way you ask me questions, that's not what they do. And I'm like, no, they won't, because they're not gonna prompt you for you to answer it and get more points. They don't want to give you points because the government's skint. But I know what it's like to be chronically ill. I am chronically ill and I don't look it. And when people see me, they get a bit confused if I say I am, because I don't look it, unless I'm using my Zimmer frame. She can pick up the food and put it to her mouth. Obviously not when her tremors are really bad. Her partner doesn't feed her. If it's really bad, she just simply won't eat. Because this is a change. Now she's been diagnosed, and again, she didn't get the points before. We're putting it down as a change. I'm going to change this bit. I'm using the word nag because she just wouldn't use the word prompt. So no matter how many times I've done this, I still have to keep going back to the scoring system and then work it out in my head. It's obviously not the simple process of just state what's on this. You're obviously going to be questioned. So it's about me wording it like this and then mentoring the person to be able to describe their own life into these categories. When I said to her about, does he have to, try and get you to eat? And she's like, all the time, I'm so tired. And I was like, that's points. And she's like, I didn't know that. They didn't say that. And I'm like, no. Most of us don't use knives and forks either. Today, my mum did me a meal that needed a knife and fork, and it was too much for me. Looking at me now, oh bollocks, I thought I was sharing the screen. Fuck. Looking at me now, you'd probably think, she's not looking too bad. I don't have the energy to use a knife and fork. And she doesn't know this, but I left half the food and I had to say to her I was full. I'm too tired to eat it. And I feel bad because obviously she's cooked and I'm grateful to have a hot meal. But I haven't got the energy to eat it. I haven't. That's what it's like, isn't it? I just haven't got the energy. I'm whispering because she's in the room next door. Now, most of us are too proud to use chunky cutlery. So what we tend to do is have foods that are easy to eat that we can pick up. And that's what this lady does. So her partner is strategic with the food that she has. If she had a healthy, like a roast dinner, in order for her to eat it, it'd need to be chopped up, so that she can scoop. It's horrible admitting that, isn't it? But it's not nice to have to say, I need it cut up. So it's easier to take, like what she does, she'll take a toasty. She can just pick it up, rather than, it's the pride thing, isn't it? Asking someone to cut your food up. I can't remember if it was a fork or a spoon. I think she was a fork person. Look at the prices of these. This makes me really angry. I was not going to pay £40 for chunky cutlery. £15. Is that one? Is that one? Is that one? Oh, please, please, please. Is that one? Is that one? I'm so happy. Yes. Buy it. So I've got the need prompt in, and we need to put this one in. Because she shouldn't have to live off toasties. It took me years before I started to ask people to chop things for me. Years. So just in summary, what I wrote on this will get points. What she wrote, it just won't get points. It's not specific enough. It's not crystal clear in this. Because I struggle with eating, so she can eat. My partner cooks, all right, so you can eat and drink. That's all Pip will see on that. Whereas my version is clear and meets the Pip criteria. It doesn't matter what I write for people, because obviously Pip have got processes in place that they won't just take what you've written, they need to speak to people. So when they speak to her, because I've helped her write it, they'll ask questions based on that, and she will have it in front of her as a prompt, so she can go, oh yeah, my partner has to nag me all the time. You know, why is that? Well, I just forget, I'm too tired, I haven't got the energy to eat. So when they ask the individual questions, they just naturally talk about the reality of their life. The way I help people is by putting it into the right words. There's little prompts to remind them that the PIP assessor will then ask the questions, and they will naturally start talking about it. And by the time I've helped her with this, we'll have spoken so many times that when the PIP assessor gets to her, she'll be used to speaking about it, and she'll get it across in the right way. Obviously, I wish I could help more people, but it takes time to do that with someone. So that's why I'm doing these vlogs. So I'm hoping, like, for a lot of you, these will be enough to help you. I really hope. Managing treatments. So what obviously Pip doesn't explain is what they're trying to find out here is, do you use an aid? Yes. A pill box, that's 1 point. It's about how much help you have. Sorry, I'm having to think about it. This one's really difficult because it's obviously really difficult to prove it. There's times where she's too shaky to take the meds, yeah? So he has to wait and come back later. She is no way going to let him put the meds into her mouth and give her the drink. That's a pride thing, and I totally get that. So he'll have to come back, he'll have to try again later, or if she's asleep, wait, come back later. I think she's probably in this category. No, hang on a minute. This lady, when her legs stop working, he has to carry her to the toilet. He'll leave her on the toilet, she'll call when she's done, and it's teamwork. She won't let him clean her, but she will let him pull up pajama bottoms. Again, pride. Managing therapy or health condition. So actually, shit. The reason I'm like saying shit is because, bless her, like, she doesn't know what the background scoring is, right? So she doesn't know any better. You know, obviously PIP don't give you clues on this, do they? PIP don't help you. They want to give out the least amount of funding possible. So I'm going to write this completely different. I'm going to include this, but I'm going to write this completely different. Now, we put that earlier. Yep, 9 out of 10 days. We put it earlier. It's a really important one. They look at just this category. They won't go, oh, they mentioned that there, so it's also valid here. They won't do that. So you have to state it, okay? And you've got to pick and choose where you're going to put the important bits, right? On average. On average. Because there will be good days. There's going to be good days where she can walk, yeah? But on average, it's going to be 2 hours, and there'll be some days where it'll be more than that. If her IBS is really bad, it's going to be more than that. I'm just thinking she hasn't got enough space to put that. Let me delete that. So I'm actually going to take that bit out of there, but I'm going to leave it in, okay? I'm just thinking, one of the things on PIP that they do is they want to know if there's any mobility aids that can help you to make your life better. So I'm just thinking about her situation with going to the toilet on, and I think it's a no, on would a commode help? So that if she had a commode, she could just use the commode, like stand up, turn, sit. But you know, she has children. I don't think she's going to want to go to the toilet in the living room, which I totally understand. And I think her and her partner have just got the system where he carries her. I think she's in that category, you know, she's poorly, really poorly. I need to add in somewhere about occupational health. She needs occupational health. So obviously I've edited this. So I'm probably spending, because this is the first time I've spoken to this lady, even though it's a review, it's usually a lot quicker for me. But because she didn't have any help with her for the assessment, she only got standard. Like, I think if you've got this far in the vlog, you know she needs enhanced. I'm probably spending, I think I've been doing this for about 3 hours. I'm not sure, based on editing, how long we are in the actual vlog that you're watching, but whatever the time you're up to now, I've 3 hours plus the hour and a bit talking to her, plus going through everything myself to get it in my head. And when I do this, I've never met her, she lives in a total different area, but when I do this and I'm thinking about her situation, I picture it in my head. I picture her sat on her sofa. So in my head, I have a image of what her living room looks like. And in my head, I can see her sat on a chair. So if this is the sofa that I can see her on, I see the kitchen over there where she can see her partner, and she's got her children are playing in the living room, occupying themselves. Due to her conditions, she can't join in on the play, but she can sit and talk to the children and be like, oh, that's good, or don't do that. Stop hitting your sister. I'm not sure, you know, what gender children she's got. And then in my head, her stairs are that way. So I see the kitchen that way, and obviously it doesn't matter the layout of her living room. But what I'm trying to explain to you is when I'm doing this for someone and I'm imagining, I have to run it in my head. Like I run it like a film in my head. I can see her house. I can see the pajamas she's wearing. That's how much detail it goes through in my head to be able to do this for someone. I have to get that much detail to run it through my head to be able to answer the questions on someone's behalf and make sure that it is fact-based. So because, I mean, if I put something down that wasn't true, it's obviously they're going to get found out on the PIP, and they wouldn't want that anyway, you know. The people that I help are those that are truly sick, that are absolutely entitled to it. By the way, in my head, she's wearing like a light coloured pair of pyjamas that are, you know, when you got your comfy clothes that you do not go out in public in, they're worn, but they're her favourite pyjamas in my head. And if you're watching this, let me know if I'm right on the layout of your house. We've never talked about it. I know like bathrooms are upstairs, bedrooms are upstairs. I know, you know, I know certain things about it, but that's the detail I go to work on this. So I constantly have to go to the points, then I go to the notes that I've got on that person, then I will look at things about their condition, think about obviously my experiences, what they've told me. So I think what I'm trying to say to you is for each question, I'm probably spending, just now writing it up, I'm probably spending 20 minutes plus per question, plus the 2 hours that I've already done. And it deserves that time because this is someone's life. You know, this money is going to make a vast difference to their life. I am finding that people that I've helped from the beginning, when they come to the review, they're just giving me a shout, and I've got packs, like confidential, obviously wouldn't share it with anyone, well, unless it's on YouTube, in which case I'm covering their details and I've got their permission. Packs, so when it comes to the review, it's actually like when I was with a lady who had a review recently, when she came round, I got a packs out, refreshed myself with her details. I think it took me 2 hours because I'd already worked with her through the whole process, so it's much quicker. And she knows, just come to me and I'll do it. I'm not going to say that because they didn't give her the right points, and I know this is about change, but I'm just going to state facts. My legs will not listen to me. about the hair being matted, that's too much detail. But and what she hasn't said is, he has to wash my hair. So if we go on to the points, need to use an aid or appliance. Oh, I've missed that. Hang on a minute. Yeah, so she has to use the handle to sit down, get up with the teamwork with her partner. So you can see, you might be thinking, hang on a minute, Charlie, this is about how she manages it. This is the change. There's obviously not much space on the form. And because, again, you don't get the right points the first time you do it, we're trying to get the points now. And with the new diagnosis of the FND, I'm trying to make use of the most of the space, right? And the message will get across to whoever's doing it. If she goes for an assessment, I'm gonna buddy up with her on this, because just talking to her, she's gonna get in a tiz and not be able to communicate this correctly. And if she doesn't communicate it, no points. It's not fair. It's not fair that that is how it works, but unfortunately that's the system we're working with, and we're lucky to have the system. So let's check the points. She needs supervisit prompting. Right, I haven't got that in there. So uses the handle, yes. Has help with hair, yes. Yes. I'm gonna leave it like that. I was going to put in about prompting, but I'm going to leave it like that because it's just so clear. So I messaged her about this. It's only in first world countries that we're obsessed with showering and bathing every day. You know, there are millions and millions of people in places like Africa that don't have a bath and a shower, let alone have one every day. You get a bucket of water and you wash with that bucket, and that bucket of water is generally used by the entire family. So I do find when I talk to people about this washing and bathing, they're embarrassed. When I say, when was the last time you had a bath or shower, they're embarrassed, and I have to go, last time I had a bath, I can't have a shower because I can't stand, and sitting on a seat just doesn't work because there's no support like this. So last time I had a bath was like 6 months ago. I don't know if longer. I wash under my armpits and between my legs. You know, that's it. It's absolutely fine. I don't smell. And it makes people feel better to know, oh, she gets it. Right, again, she's really brave to let me share this. Brave, not alone. So she wears a pad. In this, when I was talking to her, and she explained about him carrying her to the toilet because of the issues with her legs and her body coordination and, you know, all the challenges she's got. And I was like, does he help clean you? No. I'm like, okay. No judgment if he does, you know, I would totally get it. He does pull up pyjama bottoms, but again, this is not in here because, again, she hasn't had the mentor in to put that sort of detail in there. So I'm going to reword this. Now, if you look at her answer, and then let's look at the points, she hasn't mentioned using an aid. So again, I know she's in pain and fatigue. If that happens, you generally don't just stand up from something. People use a sink, they use a shelf, not many people have handles. Needs prompting. With this one, it's quite often we put off going to the toilet because we don't have the energy to get to the toilet, which can then make incontinence worse. She's definitely in that category, which I totally relate to. Needs assistance? Yes, she does. She needs assistance with clothing and carrying to the toilet. Either bladder or belt. Needs assistance. Yeah. Right. She hasn't told me that. She's not told me that. But I know it's true. She's being carried to the toilet. She, you know, with all of the fatigue and the pain and everything else, if she's on the toilet with severe diarrhea for hours, she's going to be absolutely knackered. She's going to struggle to clean herself. And I totally understand that there's a big difference between cleaning yourself and then having to wash again later. I've done it many, many times. To having someone clean you behind. I would rather struggle and go back and clean myself later. It's absolutely a pride thing. I totally get it. If she is having assistance cleaning herself, that, you know, from her partner, then obviously fine. But I get the battle. Right, so what she wrote, she wears a pad, stiffness, carry me to the toilet. Scoring system, uses an aid, yes. The, oh crap, hang on. Sink, I haven't got that in there, the sink. Okay, so she uses the sink. Right, so I'm going to triple check that when I speak to her. And this happens often as I'm filling it out, I obviously get more questions. So if you're with me this far, you already know that this dressing and undressing, that she's going to have difficulty with it. If you have watched all this way, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to repeat myself on some of the bits in case someone's using the timestamps and is just skipping to dressing, undressing. You can see Ollie's working really hard. Oh, got a roll over. No itch. Here's what she put. Most of the time she lives in her pyjamas. Can relate to that. Partner's help. When I have these days, stay in bed all day. Here's the scoring system. So she obviously needs to be prompted, but doesn't matter how much you prompt. There's days where a partner's not going to bother saying anything because he knows from looking at her she's not going to get dressed that day. We already know. Oh, you're tired. You're tired. Oh. I want to get this done for the lady that I'm doing it for, but also because I've received messages from people that have to submit their review forms like in the next week. So I need to get this finished and vlogged, because however long you take to vlog it, it takes like 3 to 5 times that to edit it. And God, what are we on, 5 or 6 hours now of me working on this? I can see you. I'm still trying to do this. You look very cute. Washing and dressing. No, dressing. What are we doing? Dressing. Oh, careful. I know. Oh no, I need to stop. All right. Oh. Now, are you telling me I need to stop, or do you just want some love? Is it a bit of both? I'm going to listen to the dog. That's her job. I need to listen to her. And I'm going to stop. Yeah, because I don't feel good. The pain meds aren't really working. They did a bit, but I feel them wearing off. And tomorrow, my first meeting's at 7:30. Well, I'm going to try. Okay. Okay, I'm stopping. I'm listening. I'm listening to you. Yeah. Okay. I'm wearing my pyjamas. I'm not wearing a bra. But what I'm discovering is those of you that are watching the PIP stuff, you totally understand what pain and fatigue is like, and you don't care that I'm not wearing a bra and I'm sat here in my pyjamas. Thank you for that. Thank you for accepting me for who I am with the chronic illness. Okay, so Ollie's sat with me. You're right. You're tired. Right, so I know that due to pain and fatigue, she absolutely avoids clothing with buttons and zips, like we all do. So to do that, she would need to use the aid. Most of the time, she's in her pyjamas 4 days a week. If she goes out in the car that her partner drives to take the kids to school, she'll add to her bottom half and put a jacket on. And she, to do top half, needs assistance with the top half from her partner. So she basically, obviously she's gone, well, most of the time I live in my pyjamas, thinking that that's enough. It's not. And that she stays in bed. Again, that's not enough information. So what we're going to do is No, this is not helping, is it? Is this helping? Are you assisting me? You're supposed to be an assistance dog. You're not assisting me. You're tired as well? Yeah. Tell us about any changes to the help you need. I can't see, like, what could PIP do, or what could occupational health do to help you with getting... Okay, we're back. Actually, let me take some train killers? Train killers? Oh dear. I was about to say, I'm feeling much better, and then I called them train killers. No, I am feeling pretty good today, so I am hoping we're going to get it finished. In the past, I wouldn't have included how many times I have to try and do this, but the more that people are commenting on the channel, the more I'm like, it's so nice to hear from people that understand how it feels to be chronically ill. I wanted to create a community, and I feel like we're getting there with that. This is Boss, the cat that had a fractured skull. Yeah, I was on this bit because I was a bit like, I was trying to think what could be done to make her life easier, and I don't think that that there could be, because they manage together. I can't just leave it like that. So let's just cross-check. So most of the time I live in my PJs. So it's in her answer. It doesn't say anything about prompting. It doesn't say. It says partner helps, but it's not specific enough. And it doesn't give time periods. So let's check what we've got now. Due to issues with my legs, the conditions, find it easier to stay in my PJs. I do this at least 4 days a week now. Too tired to bother getting dressed. Increase in my pain levels. I avoid making it worse. My partner does nag me, prompts, but realistically, your partners and family nag a bit, don't they? He has to help me put on tops as my arms do not listen. If my legs are not working, we don't change my bottom. Yeah. So I think that's very, very different answer, and she absolutely needs points for it. Speaking to people. Now, okay, so I'm going to put in, she's not going to get points for this because she comes across too well. I say that about pretty much everyone I help so far. Everyone comes across too well, and I've spoken to her, and I can assure you, Pip, I'm not going to give her points. Even though she does have panic attacks, and I could sense that, and she does avoid situations. In an emergency situation, she would be able to communicate. So she's not going to get points. Keep that simple. Obviously, when I'm doing this, the person that I'm helping might absolutely believe that I'm wrong, and they will get points for it. So she can change this. Yeah, this is, she does not have to use this. Right, look at her writing. I haven't ever really been any good at any of these simple things. Simple things confuse me. She's used the word haven't correctly. Haven't, have not, ever. She's used it correctly. That's it. The only people that get points here is literally people that, if the word stop was there, that they didn't know what that means. So I'm just going to simply put no change. Obviously I'm going to send this to her for her to have a look at, so she can read. And I've been honest with her and said I do not believe she will get points for it. Right, this is interesting. Socialising normally worsens my condition. Well, now she's been diagnosed, it's actually fact. If she's stressed, her FND, the one where her legs stop working, she's right. So this is really important, really important. So I'm gonna really emphasize that on this. I'm going to say go out, go out. Look, I feel a bit upset. So obviously I'm not doing as well as what I thought, because when I'm in work mode, I used to work in top 10 most dangerous jobs with professional drivers, and they rank 7th, so I did experience fatalities. And when I'm in work mode, you shut down the emotion and you focus on people. And I can feel that I'm getting upset because how does someone like her not have a blue badge? Her legs stop working, like just stop working. Her partner carries her to the toilet regularly, like day-to-day basis, and she hasn't got a blue badge. She's going to get one. I've sent her a message saying, when you win, like, I'll help you with your blue badge, because this is not acceptable. So what we're going to put here is she did really good there. I've just stepped it to the next level. I have to be careful because that's my terminology, not hers. But I think she will absolutely understand it, and I think a lot of the challenges with PIP is people don't know how to express it. So I think it's good to share terminology if it works for you, and if people pick that up, then that's great. Let's see what she wrote. Handles money, shopping, etc. Okay, so I'm going to say no change. Because they might have a suggestion. Like, I literally don't know what they could suggest here to make it better. So I think be honest with that, ask, because once I got PIP, occupational health came around and it was amazing. It was amazing, like the information she shared with me and things that she gave me free were absolutely fantastic. So, we need to be open-minded that, yeah, if you can think of something, please. If you can make my life better, bring it on. Planning and following a journey. Okay, this is important. If any of you write down something about when you were younger, it doesn't matter. This is about now. And again, she did a great job with this, so I'm not in any way being disrespectful, because most people that I've worked with, you don't get training to do these PIP forms. I didn't. I really screwed up mine. And it's only because I've got a lot of experience with running, multi-million-pound contract that I've got the skill base to quickly adapt to this, and the organisational skills to document everything so I can manage it going forward. This is about your current daily living. As brutal as that might feel, that's what it's about. I would always get lost. I managed over the phone. Yep. With family members, they will come to my home. This one, thanks for the phone. Oh shit, that's not the right number, is it? So I've cut that. It's too much detail and it's not irrelevant because unaided, or like that. Yep. Actually, I'm going to put that in. That was really good. I've added that in. Really like that. So, yep, she's ticked that. Happy with that. I know from talking to her and how often, 9 out of 10 days, her legs stop working. So for that 1 day a week, I do not believe she should be ticking sometimes. Like 9 out of 10 days, that's not sometimes, that's the bulk of the time. So I think this one, around the house. This is physical health. Most of the time he has to carry me. Yeah, if someone's being carried 9 out of 10 days, that's not I sometimes need assistance. I think that's hopeful thinking. That's not wanting to admit it. but she's contradicted herself here. This is the reality. But it's horrible when you have to tick a box, isn't it? It's not. It just. Sometimes it feels like a failure, doesn't it, when you tick the box? Or that's how I felt. I think even if she's having a 1 day out of 10, her legs can give way at any time. How does she know which 1 day is she's going to be all right? So I think she always needs to have an aid nearby, and she already does because she's in her home. So she's using the sofa, she's using the sideboard, the bathroom sink. She's already using them, but they're not aids. It's not like a Zimmer frame, but she's using things around her house. So I'm going to advise her to change that. Honestly, this occupational health team was amazing. I recommend that to anyone that goes through PIP. Seriously, reach out to them, and the level of knowledge that they have is amazing. And she was so understanding. She was just, I was very emotional, still very, very traumatized by my PIP. She's fantastic. When I did my own PIP, right, hang on a minute. When I did my own PIP, and you get the opportunity to add anything else you need on section 13, anything else you want to add, I did exactly what this lady has done, and I wrote a small novel. It's not relevant. It's not relevant. You've seen the point system. In the small amount of space that there is enough to get across a message for the points. With PIP, the more you say, it doesn't help you. It's just energy. It's just you're using energy for something that's not really relevant. My advice is, obviously you can ignore my advice. My advice is that you stick to the scoring system and don't bother adding anything else. Just don't bother. I don't know whether it's because PIP want to hear about our issues, that we sort of get verbal diarrhea where we just pour it all out about the challenges in our lives, because it's not often we actually get to do that. But my advice is just leave it blank. You've got to make it as easy as possible for PIP. These, they're under pressure. It's a government body. They're going through loads and loads of these claims. They're reading through all this waffle that we're sending into them, trying to figure out, does this person get points or not? Make it easy for them. Cut the crap. Don't put stuff in that's not relevant. That is the end of the review form. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to email her what I've written. I've asked her and her partner to go over it. I know that she's going to be intimidated because of it's like 7 pages, but you've seen that I've kept it quite clean, not loads of writing. It's nice and clean. She can go through it, and I'll have a conversation with her and explain the way I've done it and just talk through. I've put a couple of yellow bits in just because I just need to ask a couple of questions on the number of times that happens a week. And I'm just going to mentor her a bit on how to communicate it, basically how to communicate it, and that she cannot allow them to have grey area. Like, if PIP could have heard the conversation we'd had, should have got enhanced PIP, because I know what questions to ask, and PIP are not going to ask those questions because they're skint. So it's about getting that across, but I feel like it doesn't take people long to pick up on it. They get much, much quicker, after we've spoken a few times. It's just training, isn't it? It's just training. So hopefully, I am going to put this vlog up before she gets the outcome, because I'm hoping this is helpful, and I also need to break the news to her that I'm hoping she gets an assessment, because I'm going to reassure her it's a good thing. She needs enhanced. If your legs stop working 9 days out of 10, there's no question you should be getting enhanced. So I'm going to just assure her that that's a good thing, and I am going to offer to be on the call with her. I've done that once before. It wasn't very pretty because PIP don't have like Zoom or Google Meet or Teams, so but we can figure it out. Like, she can ring me off one phone and I can be on speaker so I can hear what they're saying, and we can figure it out, because she needs enhanced PIP. So we don't know the outcome. Obviously, she doesn't even have to update me. She doesn't have to update me at all. But if I do find out the outcome, I will let you know. I'll put something else on YouTube so we know. So wish her all the best, and be strong and communicate clearly, and she will win.